It is now my further honor to invite political leader, the Honourable Mia Amor Mottley, to address us.
Good morning. By 15 minutes. Right Reverend Dr. Jeffrey Gibson, Dean of this cathedral, the Right Reverend Sir Wilfred Wood, Lady Wood, Chairman of the Barbados Labour Party, General Secretary of the Barbados Labour Party, members of the Parliamentary Party of the Barbados Labour Party, former members of the Parliamentary Party of the Barbados Labour Party, members of the National Council, General Secretary of the Barbados Workers' Union, ladies and gentlemen, members of the Diplomatic Corps. It is a good thing to be here this morning celebrating 80 years. But the actual date came last Saturday in the midst of Easter weekend. And we recognized, as this sermon most brilliantly executed and delivered this morning also did, that it is a time at Easter for us to reflect on Renaissance. But it is also a time in the circumstances and condition of our country for us equally so to do. And it therefore meant that that question that must have been ever present in the minds of those men who met on Bay Street 80 years ago is equally ever present in our mind as we meet at this juncture of our nation's history. Who are we? What do we stand for? And what will we fight for? Our journey has not been by accident. Even our journey to this cathedral this morning. 5 years ago, we met at the Wesleyan Church at White Park on the 75th anniversary. And on that occasion, I asked us as members to reflect on those simple questions. I asked us to recognize that we would be called upon not only to look inward, but to work with those outside of us. I asked us to reflect on the fact that those who must hold us up must not be those who seek to own us, but those who seek to work with us. I asked us to recall that we must ask and work with persons without demanding of them blind loyalty and membership, but simply the execution of tasks because of the nobility of the task or the desirability of the task in the interests of the nation. And along that route from the last 5 years, we paused to remind people that our mission is not serendipity. Our mission is not by accident. Our mission has always, from day one, been simple, even if daunting. Our mission is to make a better life for our people. But making that better life for our people requires that we appreciate that we have to work together, and that there must be values that we must promote if we are going to be successful, and that it must be done first and foremost on a platform of faith. And that led us, therefore, to the settlement of the covenant of hope. It has not been by accident. It has been deliberate, and it has been guided. And what is that? A document that reminds ourselves first and our people, who we are, what we stand for, and what we will fight for. And we have used that to remind people that those things which we come now at this moment of decision to speak to are equally not by accident or not for the sake of simple electoral victory, but represent the essence of who we are as a people. These things matter. And I can be a little frivolous and say that I remember when I was managing a band and Foreigner Frank said to me, unless you produce music that sounds like who you are and reflects how you walk and how you talk, there shall be no sincerity and the people shall not respond. Similarly, unless our mission reflects what the people need, unless our mission hears and senses the dreams and the anxieties of our people, we labor in vain. And it is for that reason that we did two other things to bring us to this point. We determined that we had to rub shoulders. Not because I did not have confidence in these men and women here and the ones that served us before, but because ours was simply one perspective. And what we needed was to understand and feel and hear how our people felt in every corner of this nation. Similarly, if we were to be true to our call, that we must work with others without requiring of them blind loyalty or even membership, the People's Assemblies became critical, because the People's Assemblies provided the platform upon which our Barbadian people who were not of this party by membership could help speak in the way that, Sir Wilfrid, I recall your courage and the manner in which you spoke truth to power in this country at Foundation School at one of the very first People's Assemblies. These are the things that we have inherited in values, and these are the things that we will fight to preserve in values. Because as we were reminded in this sermon this morning, our country needs a renaissance. But the renaissance is not of the values that have got us safely. The renaissance is of the programs and policies that are critical, of the discipline that is so lacking in our society, of the conscience that is so missing in our nation. And if we are to be truthful to the purpose set out on the 31st of March 1938, then we must equally all rise to the occasion. Change is never easy. It will frighten some, and to them, I remember the words that were given to us this morning, stand firm. Change will dislocate some. I say to them, when you are dislocated, we will be here to capture you and catch you and put you on a new path. Change will require discipline. And all of us know that there is nothing in life that comes at any stage without discipline. So together, we shall rise to the occasion. Together, we shall march forward. Our condition that is being left for us is being made worse by the day because people are not prepared to accept their responsibility first to the nation, but put their interests first. But irrespective of what is done, we shall rise to the occasion, and we shall not be afraid. I end this morning simply with the reminder that we gather in the shadow of the resting places of Sir Grantley Adams and Tom Adams. And that too is not by accident. Politics is about substance, but it is also about symbols. And the symbolism of coming to the Cathedral of St. Michael and All Angels, where they rest and shall watch over us today, is important. The symbolism of the number 8 and Easter, and the season of Easter, is important. The symbolism that from today is the exact 8 weeks upon which the Parliament of Barbados must have new members, because the writs must be returned to Her Excellency 8 weeks exactly from today, with the new members of Parliament of the Barbados House of Assembly. The symbolism of 80 years of celebration. The symbolism of Moses being 80 in the lesson which we read this morning. The symbolism of 8 at every stage of all that we have done. And what does 8 mean in the Christian fraternity? 8, I am told, Sir Wilfred and Reverend Gibson, represents a new beginning. 8 is our number. Eight today is our destiny, and a new beginning shall be our mission. God bless the Barbados Labour Party.